Hello student, welcome to geography class. This is Anita teacher from Shahaji Nagar VMC school. In the last lecture, we have completed our chapter number 6, population. In that lesson, we have studied distribution and density of population in India and Brazil. In that lesson, we have also studied composition of population through sex ratio, age and sex pyramid, population growth rate, life expectancy, literacy rate from both the countries. Students, today we will study next chapter 7, that is human settlement. In this lesson, we will study settlements pattern in India and Brazil and urbanization in India and Brazil. So let's start our lesson, human settlements. First of all, we'll see the definition of settlements. In geography, statistics and archaeology, a settlement's locality or populated place is a community in which people live. The complexity of a settlement can range from a small number of dwelling grouped together to largest of cities with surrounding urbanized area. Settlements may include hamlets, villages, towns, and cities. Settlements may have known historical properties such as the date or era in which it was first settled or first settled by particular people. Means settlements are those houses are on the geographical area. A settlement conventionally includes its constructed facilities such as roads, enclosures, field systems, boundary banks, and detached ponds, parks, and woods, winds, and water mills, minor houses, and moats and churches. So this is the definition of settlements, and we have seen the description related to the settlements. Now we'll see the major types of human settlements. The first is nucleated settlements or clustered settlements. Means the nucleated settlements also called as a clustered settlements. We'll see the definition. Nucleated settlements are one where the houses are grouped closely together, often around the central features like a church, pub, or village green. New settlements that are planned often have a nucleated pattern. Here you can see in this picture also the nucleated settlements is given here in the first corner. Means this much portion is the nucleated settlements. Now the next type, that is dispersed settlement. We'll see the definition. Dispersed settlements are ones where the houses are spread out over a wide area. They are often the homes of farmers and can be found in rural areas. Means this is the speciality of dispersed settlements. We can find this dispersed type of settlements in the village side area because the area availability of area is more there in the rural side area, and due to this factor people form their houses in the far away from each other, and this dispersed type of settlements form. And the next type is the linear settlements. Here in the picture you can see the linear settlements. Means houses are alongside the road or alongside the river. Means it can be from both the side of road, river, or track of train. This type of settlements found in the linear type. We'll see the definition. Linear settlements are settlements where the buildings are constructed in lines, often next to a geographical features like a lake shore or a river or following a road. Where linear settlements follow a road, the road often predates the settlements. Now we have already seen the major types of human settlements. Means these are the major types, and other are not much famous, or there is no need to observe them. But we'll see what are the types and the shapes, the different types of settlements and shape. Just now we have seen the linear settlements. It is shown this type of shape we can see in the linear settlements, and another is the planned settlement. Means government, when government plan settlements, then we can see this type of planned settlements. For example, the Sidco area, we can see in the New Mumbai Sidco area also the planned settlements are there. And next is and the next is ring. Means this is the ring shape settlement, and it is toward the center. Means these settlements form towards the center, and this type of settlements mostly we found in the rural areas, because to the surrounding the at the center we found the temple or something special, and around that we found the houses built there. So this type of settlements we found in the rural areas. This is the ring type of settlement. Then the next is the cross settlements. When two roads cross to each other, and the settlements houses are built alongside the both the roads, that then this type of settlements we can get. Now the next is disperse. We have just now seen the in the before slide, that is the dispersed settlements. Houses are very far away from each other. And the next is the nucleated settlements. Uh, the nucleated settlements also we have seen. There are lots of houses built in a small area, that is the nucleated settlements. Now, our first topic, that is settlement patterns in India. See, these pictures are given in your textbook on the page number 46. You can observe and give the answers which are asked there. Here, the instruction is given, and in your textbook also it is given, and questions are asked. We have to observe these pictures and give the answers. The first question is identify the type of settlements. Means we have to identify the types of settlements which we can see in these two pictures. The first is obviously figure 7.1a, that is the nucleated settlements, and the second is figure 7.1b, that is the dispersed settlements. Means here we can see the houses are very far away from each other in the second picture, and in the first picture houses are very close by to each other. The answer is given here. And the next question, which one is a nucleated settlement and why? We have found the answer, that is the first one, that figure 7.1a is the nucleated settlement. And why? Houses are very close by to each other. That is the reason of why. And why we found the nucleated settlement? Because when cultivable land or land availability of water, that can be the cause behind this nucleated settlement. The next question is, which one is the dispersed settlement? What could be the reason behind it? In the figure 7.1b, that is the dispersed settlement, and what could be the reason behind that? The dense forest covered area, it can be the dense forest covered area or desert area, and that can be the reason behind the dispersed settlement. Now the next question is, can you guess in wait a minute. Can you guess in which regions are these settlements located in India? So you have to guess where it can be found. The answer is maybe in river basin and maybe located in desert inaccessible area. We found this type of dispersed settlement. Now we'll move to the next slide. Settlement patterns in India. We'll see the characteristics of settlement patterns in India. The first is variety of settlements. In our country, we can find lots of variety in the settlements, settlement types and settlement patterns, and also we can find the variety in the shape of settlements. In India, we can see a variety in human settlements, variety in climatic conditions, availability of water, the slope of the land, fertility of the land, and level of development are some factors responsible for variety in human settlements. Means these are the causes behind the variety of settlements. As we know, there is a variety in our India, means according to the slope and climate, and these are the things. Here we have already seen the settlement patterns: dispersed, nucleated, linear, isolated. This type of variety found in India. That is the characteristics. Now next, that is nucleated settlements. This type of settlements are found throughout the plateau region of Narmada Valley, paddy lands in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Vindhyan Plateau, and several other cultivated parts of India. See, paddy lands means where a rice crop is grown. That is called the paddy lands. In this area or in these states, just like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, we can see the nucleated settlements, and some part of Narmada Valley and Vindhyan Plateau also covered by these nucleated settlements. And in the second picture, it is shown. This is the satellite image, and we can see the houses are very close by to each other, and this is the nucleated settlements. Now we'll see the next, that is the dispersed settlement. This type of settlements are found in tribal parts covering central part of India, eastern and southern Rajasthan, Himalayan slopes, and land with dissected and uneven topography. See, in the third picture, houses are shown here, and the houses we can see the very far away from each other due to the hilly area. Means this land is not a plain or flat land. That's why houses are on the slope side area and they are very far away from each other. And causes and where we can found these houses in the southern Rajasthan, Himalayan slopes, and some parts of tribal area. Now, next is the settlement patterns in Brazil. Just now we have seen the settlement patterns in India. Uh, Same like that, we'll see the what are the patterns found in the Brazil. First is the earlier settlements. In Brazil, the earlier settlements were mainly formed in the southeastern coastal areas. They were mainly formed by settlers from Europe. Means when in the earlier period, Europeans came to the Brazil, and in the southeastern coastal area they formed their settlements, and this was the earlier settlements which found in the Brazil. Now the second is nucleated settlements. This type of settlements found in the Brazil. In Brazil, nucleated settlements are found in coastal regions due to favorable factors like availability of water, availability of variety of natural resources, deposits of minerals, fertile land, speedy transport facilities, etc. The second is due to these favorable factors, nucleated settlements are well developed in the state of Sao Paulo. Here, the satellite image is given, the Sao Paulo city, and in the second picture, that is the real photo of Sao Paulo city. We can see the nucleated settlement is formed there, and it is very concentrated there, and the reasons for the nucleated settlements, why it is formed there, because of the some favorable factors for the settlements are available there, that are the water availability hai, then availability of variety of natural resources. We found there many natural resources, and then the deposits of minerals and fertile land also available there. People grow the coffee in the Sao Paulo city, and the speedy transport facilities are also available there. Means alongside the city area, there are many coffee farm or land which is planted by the coffee, and that's why this fertile, due to fertile land, the city is growing up. Now continue settlement patterns in Brazil. As like India, Brazil also found dispersed type of settlements, and we'll see where it is found. In Brazil, dispersed settlements are found in the rural areas such as northeastern region of Brazilian highlands due to extreme droughts, which make it difficult for practicing agriculture. Here you can see the satellite image is given here, and one photograph is also captured from the drone camera or something else. The both pics are related to the Amazon River, and this is the lowland area in the first picture. This is the lowland area of Amazon basin, and the second, in the second picture, that is the rainforest Amazon River basin. Means this is the earliest part of river, and this is near to the coastal area, and we can see the forested area alongside this river in the second picture. Alongside the river, that is forested area is very dense, and there is no scope for settlements. But in the lowland area of Amazon basin, some settlements are formed there, and these settlements are also a dispersed type of settlements because of the uh, unfavorable climate and heavy rainfall, and no availability of flat land and good fertile land. That's why the dispersed settlements found in the Amazon River basin area. Settlements become sparse as we move in towards the central part of Brazil. Given are the major reasons. We'll see the reasons behind the dispersed settlements. We can see in the central part of Brazil also. This Amazon River Basin area comes in the northwestern part of Brazil, and the central part of Brazil is also a dispersed type of settlements found there. The first reason is the area is covered by thick, dense equatorial rainforest. In the central parts also, the dense equatorial rainforest is spread there. And the second is the climate here is unhealthy and unfit for settlements. The climate is there, it is very unhealthy because the rainfall there gets for all over the all throughout the year, and the amount of rainfall is very high, and this type of climate is very unfit or unfavorable for the settlements. The next is limitation on use and exploitation of natural resources. There are lots of natural resources, but no one can use these resources because the climatic condition or slope of land is not favorable to the dig that resources or use that resources. The next is the poor transport link in the region. Due to the wild area, transportation links or a road construction, railway construction is not possible there. These are the reasons behind the dispersed settlement, which found in the Brazil area. Now, this is the next topic, urbanization. Now, nowadays this concept is getting wild, that is wide over in the world, that is the urbanization. We all are moving towards the urbanization, and that's why it is very it is very important for us as well. We'll see the definition of urbanization. Urbanization or urbanization, there is a slightly difference. You can see this SATION, urbanization. That word is in our textbook, but the Google will show you the spelling urbanization. That is the minute difference. And this urbanization refers to the population shift from rural to urban areas, the decrease in the proportion of people living in rural areas, and the ways in which societies adapt to these changes. It is predominantly the process by which towns and cities are formed and become larger as more people begin living and working in central areas. This is the concept is given for urbanization, means people from rural area move toward the urban area or cities. Why? Because of the there are some reasons behind that. They want to get more money, good job opportunities, and also they want sometimes education facilities. Sometimes there can be the medical reason behind this migration. These are the reasons which are leading to the urbanization process. Now here we can see in the first picture, that is a rural side area. We can see, means this is the countryside area, and people move from this area toward the cities, and cities become the more populated and more houses built there, and the cities become more and more dense. The process of urbanization, this is the process of urbanization, uh, how people move toward the cities. Now we'll see the process of urbanization. Urbanization is the process of population shift from rural areas to cities, often motivated by economic factors. Means there can be reason for money making or good job opportunities or medical reasons for education, but the economic factors are more responsible for this urbanization. People move from rural area to urban area to get money or related to the economic activities. Now we'll see the topic urbanization in India. There is a graph given in your textbook on page number 48, and some questions are asked on the basis of this graph. We'll see. The first question is, what was the percentage of urbanization in 1961? We'll observe this graph before solving the questions. Here, first of all, we should always read the title, that is the figure 7.5, India Trend of Urbanization from 1961 to 2011. Means the trend of urbanization in India is given here, and the year is 1961 to 2011. This much data is given here and shown us the how the trend is urbanization going in India. In the left side, on the vertical line, percentage of urban population is given here, and you can see the percentage is given from 0 to 35%. Means we can get idea our trend of urbanization is not more than the 35%, and there is no need to write the till the 100%, because our growth of urbanization is very less. We can conclude with saying this, with observing this graph. We'll see the decade by decade what was the trend of urbanization. In the 1961, we can see the trend of urbanization is only 18.0%. Means only 18% trend of urbanization was found in the year 1961. And in the next decade, means for after 10 years, it is increased toward only 0.2%. Means the trend of urbanization is not much increase here, only 0.2% is increased in the next decade, that is 1971, and in the next decade, that is the in the 1981, that is the 23.3%, and after that in 1991, that is 25.7%, which is slightly increased, and from 1971 to 1981, it is more increased. When we can minus this value 18.2% from 23.3, we can get the amount of the how much it is increased. In the 1991, it is 25.7%, and in the next decade, that is in 2001, that is 27.8%. Means here also it is increased by 2.1%, and the next decade in 2011, that is increased little bit more, and the amount of trend, that is the 31.2%. Now we can give the answers of the question. See the first question. Wait a minute. Varsha ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. What happened?
my slide found in the 1961. Our next question is, in which decade was urbanization the highest? Urbanization was the highest in the decade 2001 to 2011. Here we can see the in the year 2001 to 2011, that was the highest. The next question is, in which decade was the growth of urbanization lowest? Obviously, the 1961 to 71, uh, that is the lowest growth of urbanization. And the next question is, what inference can you draw regarding India's urbanization after reading the graph? Here the statement is given. After reading the graph, we can draw an inference that urbanization in India is continuously rising because this graph is rising upward. Now we'll see the characteristics of urbanization in India. The first characteristics, it is clear from the above graph. Just now we have seen the graph, and regarding this graph, that is the growth of urbanization in India has been slow. Means though it is increasing, but still the rate of urbanization is very less, that is near about the 35%. The next characteristics is the level of urbanization in India in 2011 was 31.16%, which is quite low in comparison to developed countries. The next characteristics is, at the same time, the urban population is increasing. Expansion of urban centers and emergence of new towns have played a significant role in the growth of urban population and urbanization in country. Means there are many towns are emerging, many cities are growing, just like our metropolitan city, Mumbai, our capital city, Delhi. The picture is given here. Actually, it is our capital city from the ancient period, and it is also growing. Urbanization has been more in the southern part than in the northern part in India. Means we can find the most of urbanized states in the south side of India, and in the northern side the rate of urbanization is quite less as compared to the southern part of India. Goa is the most urbanized state with 62% population living in urban area. Actually, this is the smallest state of India, and that's why it can be possible. It is the urbanized state of India, but still it is the rate of urbanization is only 62%. Delhi is more than 80% urban, because Delhi is the city area, and 80% people are living in the urban areas. The next characteristics of urbanization in India is in the state of Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Kerala, urbanization is more. These are the Maharashtra and Gujarat, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. It comes in the lower part or southern part of India, and we found the urbanization is more in the southern part. Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Rajasthan are some of the states with low level of urbanization, and some states like Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Rajasthan, these are the northern states. only Rajasthan is the western state, and Jammu and Kashmir at the top. It is our crown, and Uttarakhand is near to the Jammu and Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh, and these states having very less urbanization. Here, with the help of this table, we can see the how much percent of urbanization can be seen into the states. We have our name of our states in this table, and population, urban population percentage category is also given here. Here some states or union territories, UT, union territories falling in the category. Before saying that, see, this is the map. Actually, it is not perfect, but some states are having the urbanization are shown here, are very good, but something problem in the shade, light color shade, but dark color shade are the perfect. First is the urban population percent category. Uh, 0 to 20% people living in the urban area. The states are Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, Assam, and Odisha. In the next is 21 to 40% people live in the population live in the urban area. These states are given here, that are the Meghalaya, Uttar Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tripura, Jammu and Kashmir, Nagaland, Manipur, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Punjab, Karnataka. Means this type of category, that is 21 to 40%. Here we can see the Punjab and Haryana. This is the Rajasthan, and this is the Madhya Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal, and some eastern states are given here. The Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, uh, Tripura. These are the states which are having a low percentage of urban population. The next category is 41 to 60% peoples or population living into the urban area. These states are Gujarat, Maharashtra. Means here you can see the Gujarat, Maharashtra, then Dadra and Nagar Haveli. This is again Union Territory. Then Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Mizoram. Here is in the southern part Kerala, and Tamil Nadu and Mizoram are shown on the map. And these states come into the category of 41 to 60%. Now the next category, that is the 61 to 80%. Goa, Puducherry, Daman and Diu, and Lakshadweep. Here you can see the Lakshadweep Islands are shown here, and the smallest state, that is Goa, which is a most urbanized state in India, that is also shown. And next category is 81 to 100%. That is the only Chandigarh and National Capital City, NTC, NCT, Delhi, means National Capital City, our capital city, that is the Delhi, and Chandigarh. These two cities are found the most urbanized population living into the urban area. Now we'll move to the next slide. Urbanization in Brazil. Now we have seen the urbanization where it found in our India, and same way we will see the urbanization in Brazil. Brazil. This table is shown on the page number 49 in your textbook, and one instruction is given to you, that is to draw the line graph with the help of this table. And but questions are given on the observation of this table only. That's why we'll observe the table and give the answers. The first question is, what is the interval of the data? Here, always keep in mind, if the data is given for 1 year, for 2 year, for 10 year, for 100 year, we need to write the answer according to that. Means the interval of the data is given here for 10 years, as we can see, from 1960 to 1970, that is the 10 years. 1970 to 1980, that is also a 10 years. Means according to that, all figures are increasing for the data. So the interval of the data is 10 years. Now the next question, in which period did urbanization occur rapidly? Here we can see we can find out the difference from both decade, and will come to know what is the uh, period which is urbanization occur rapidly. The decade 1960 to 1970 is the most difference we can find out from these two figures. Means 47.1 to 56.8, it is increased. And this from the difference from these two figures is more. Now write 5 sentences analyzing the graph. I am giving only 3 sentences um, because of the time bounding. In Brazil, urbanization has increased from 1960 to 2010. Here we can see. The next is during 1960 to 1970, the urbanization increased rapidly in essence by 9.7%. And the third is during 2000 to 2010, the urbanization increased with the lowest. Here some characteristics are given. You can take screenshot so you can read it very thoroughly. Some characteristics of urban population, urbanization in Brazil. The first characteristic is Brazil is one of the few developing countries which is highest urbanized. Brazil's substantial urban growth process is unique and one of the underlying factor contributing to its present day rapid economic growth. Means Brazil is growing toward the urbanization. Today, about 86% of Brazil population live in the urban areas. Definition of urban is not very clear in Brazil. Means we can see the urbanized people or urban area from the Brazil is not clearly defined, but still 86% people are living in the urban areas from the Brazil. In Brazil, rapid urbanization happened mainly in the south and southeast, with Sao Paulo emerging as a major metropolitan and industrial area. Here, okay, we'll see on the next slide where is the Sao Paulo area. Looking at the growth in few parts of the country, the government is promoting go west policy, which will reduce pressure on few areas where population is concentrated and will reduce regional imbalance in the country. Here one map is given, which is on your page number 50. The map is given and percentage of urban population of Brazil is shown on this map. We can see the color gradient, and we can differentiate between the states which are urban, which are in the Brazil, according to the urban population. We can see the 91 to 100% population or urbanized population living in the Goiás, Sao Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro, Espírito Santo, and Amapá. These are the states which we found the urbanized population there. And the next is the 81 to 90%. That is the Mato Grosso and Minas Gerais and the Rio Grande do Norte, Paraná, Santa Catarina. These are the states which comes under the 81 to 90% urban population. And the next is 71 to 80%. That is the Amazonas, Roraima, Tocantins, and some eastern states are also given here. And the next category is some 51 to 60% urbanized people living in the Para and Marahona and Pauli. These are the states having the lowest urbanized population. Now we'll see, as you can see from the map, urbanization has occurred more in the coastal states than the states in the interior of the country. States like Sao Paulo, Goiás, and Minas Gerais have more urban population than states in the north. As population is less in Amazon basin and Brazilian highlands, urbanization is also less in the part Manaus is a port on the confluence of the Negro and the Amazon River. Urbanization has occurred here. Means here, keep in mind this Manaus is a is a river port which is on the confluence of Amazon River and Negro River, and it is urbanized city in the Brazil. Now, this is the government policy, Go West policy, which government of Brazil is implementing nowadays to reduce the pressure of concentrated population on few areas. The government of Brazil has promoted Go West policy. Means Go West means what? The eastern area or eastern part of Brazil. Here you can see the eastern part of Brazil or coastal area of Brazil is the most urbanized or most populated area, and government is saying that go to the west side of Brazil. That is the Go West policy. This policy encourages the decentralization of population from the southeastern states to the states located in the west part of Brazil. This will help in reducing the regional imbalance in the country. For the regional, to reduce the regional imbalance, government has started the Go West policy in the Brazil. Here, some comparison is given. Points of comparison, the level. Here in India, we can see the level of urbanization is very less. In the Brazil, the level of urbanization is very high. We can see the with the percentage, we have only 31.2% urbanization, and Brazil has 84.6% urbanization. And the second is the most urbanized states or states. India having only one state which is most urbanized, but in Brazil we can see the Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, both the states are having the urbanized states. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anita ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me this chance. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Students, please continue with it. We are having now Math Science 2 lecture by Pushpa teacher. So students, please continue.